Right, welcome back to episode 8 of Kicking Into the Wind. It's my turn this week to pick the topic, and we're absolutely flying these out. Episode 8 already. That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's come full circle. It's back to my second one.
Oh.
And I thought, we being me and having a lot of unpopular opinions, it'd only be right to make my episode about that. So that's exactly what we're doing today, boys. Unpopular opinions. Not necessarily my opinions, but I've had a look at some things that I think are going to split you and divide you. And I've also asked each of you to send me your own popular opinion, which we'll cover at the end. So how it's going to work is I'm going to read an unpopular opinion. You're all going to hold your cards up, agree or disagree. Show me what you got. Yeah, that's good enough for me. I'll reveal the agrees and disagrees for the listeners and then just go at it. I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm just going to caveat whatever. So I'm going to go both sides of the fence as and when I need to.
Sounds good.
So, without further ado.
Oh, straight in.
Straight in. Are you ready, boys?
No, I'm not me, but let's do it.
Thick and fast off the cuff. Number 1. Big Sam deserves a crack at a big club.
Agree, you dirty bastard,
We've got
Dav.
Dav agreeing.
You dirty bastard.
Dav agreeing. Everybody else disagrees.
That is
Dirty
shocking.
bastard.
Why not?
Right, all we can do is let Dan explain himself. Fuck me.
Set the mic.
Right. Never relegated a team, has it? Is that still true?
Right.
It is.
And that's
West
why I'm
Brom,
not disagree.
Yeah, but he came in halfway through, didn't he, on that one?
Yeah, I'll give you that, Dav.
He had a crack at England and fucked it up, didn't he? Bless him. Up in
Managed one game, didn't he?
up in his big mouth, bless him. But
100% record.
I don't know, me, like, why not? Why is no one giving him a
Because
chance?
he
But
belongs
why?
down at bottom. But he's
Why?
struggling to keep teams up and that. Nah,
Tell
not
us
for
why,
me.
boys. Why not?
I've gone disagree because he's good at keeping teams from relegation, but big teams they don't get relegated.
All
Let
I'm
me tell
saying,
you
like, if
about
I'm
Big Sam.
Liverpool,
Big Sam,
then.
he's always worked with what he's got. And in Premier League, you give him a task, he's seen it through. West Brom accepted. He's had 15 Premier League seasons, right? Remember what he did with Bolton. They were an old First Division side, 16th, going nowhere. He took them to cusp at Champions League. And at their training facilities, they didn't have a canteen, they didn't have hot water, they didn't have a gym, fuck all. And he'd had spells in America. He was one of the first managers in Premier League to bring in sports science, video analysis, nutrition.
Mate,
A
fuck
lot of
Big
big
Sam.
teams weren't doing
Fuck
it.
Big Sam.
Come back.
Little
this,
Sam.
right?
If Key were playing it, if Key were doing this, he'd have a green tick up now, by it sounds of it.
100%.
Right. When I first wrote this question down, I disagreed. And the more I read into it, more I agreed. And now he absolutely deserves a crack at a big club. 100%.
100%. I agree.
Where
Yeah,
would you see him? Where would he go? Where could you
If
see
you're
him?
a fan of a big club and you appoint Big Sam, are you happy? Are you
Fuming.
fuck?
You're
I've been
fuming.
absolutely livid. Even
If
if
you
club
turned
would
up at
accept
Leeds
Big
when the
Sam?
mid-table Leeds, if you turned up,
Wait, what big club would accept Big Sam?
Arsenal.
none.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
I think he'd
It's
do a
worth
job.
remembering that Sam Allardyce left Bolton citing a lack of ambition, right? He left Bolton. Let me just throw his next couple of clubs at you.
Bolton. It's Bolton.
He took him into Europe from a
big
Champions
club.
League.
Matter.
once.
Right.
Where's
Left
Ranieri? Ranieri got booed after winning Prem.
I want to put some importance on Sam Allardyce's recruitment. Not a lot of money to spend, and listen, right? You got JJ Kocher on a free from Paris Saint-Germain. I don't need to go into it. His club record signing with Nicholas Anelka, 8 million. He went to Newcastle after Bolton. This is Mike Ashley's Newcastle. He signed the following players as soon as he got there. Mark Viduka, Alan Smith, Jeremy, Jose Enrique, Joey Barton, Abdullah Fai, sick buys.
Mid-table
Mike
buys.
Ashley.
Mid-table
Right.
buys.
Mate,
They
you
were
put
15th
in.
when he arrived, and they were 11th when he left. Now, ask yourselves, is Sam Allardyce any better off since is Newcastle any better off since Sam Allardyce left? Have they?
Yeah, I'd say
No.
so. Yeah,
Put it this
they've
No,
got a
no.
better manager. They've got a better manager now.
Put it this
And-
way. What gives likes of Lampard and Gerrard and stuff like that, you know, like people coming off back of a career, their CV's nowhere near as good as Allardyce.
Yeah.
I think he deserves a crack, mate. Why not?
Nah,
He's
I'm
never
not having it.
he's never done a
You-
terrible job.
For me, you put him on a pedestal where he don't belong. Like, what about like Graham Potter or like Brendan Rodgers or something? Why Sam Allardyce? He ain't worthy enough.
There's
managers
are Blackburn.
way
There's
above it.
managers just like that, and then Sam Allardyce is down here. Like
That's 'cause
Graham
he's
Potter
never-
and
He's never had a chance, that's why.
He's
deserve
got such a reputation for being a dinosaur, right? That people actually forget what he's done in game. He went to Blackburn after Newcastle. They were 19th, second bottom in December. He went on a 6-game winning. He went on a 9-game unbeaten run, and he finished 10th that season, gone to League Cup semis. Right? They were going nowhere. Sam Allardyce left Blackburn. Ask yourselves again, are they any better off since he left that club? I'd say no to Newcastle, I'd say no to Blackburn, and I'd say no to fucking Everton. He took them to 8th. Everton.
Hey,
Are they
ask
any better
yourself
since
this
he
now.
left?
I'm going to ask you this: would you have him at Leeds?
Thank you. Move
No,
on.
what?
Exactly.
So what
That was my question. That was
I'm
my
saying-
next question.
I'm saying he deserves a crack at a big club.
Right. Bielsa
No,
leaves
no way.
tomorrow. Allardyce walks in. You happy?
No, he ain't. I know for a fact he ain't.
Exactly.
fuming.
Because
It's not
I'd be
about
in
He's
tears.
fuming.
That's
You're
not-
heartbroken. If
They're not a big
it's
club.
torn apart.
No. Come on.
Not
Are
the
you happy?
Bielsa. I'm not
Bielsa,
saying- Not the
Bielsa gets whacked by Allardyce. His seat.
After
Did you hear
heard
that? Did you
any
hear
of
that
are
there?
you-
Did
No.
you hear that?
After
Says
you
Leeds-
heard any
Leeds
of
says
that,
Leeds
is
are not
anyone
a big
changing
club.
their mind?
Oh,
That I won't class that as in getting a big club.
oh,
I'm thinking like top half at table club
oh.
every season.
I was thinking at least Europa up.
yeah,
I was
that's-
thinking like top
Yeah,
six.
that- I was thinking that, but I just wanted to ask Key that question.
Yeah,
as well.
if he's saying no to Leeds, then he don't believe it in a top club.
There's managers above him that are getting that top place, like they're getting that chance, like you said, Ali, Brendan Rodgers, Potter.
Yeah,
Well, there's a few more that are going to get
Mm.
that chance before he.
I think
Allardyce
I
is
think-
he'll get offered something.
I
I
agree,
think like Dab
Fowler.
said earlier, I think Lampard and Gerrard have got more closer to getting the top job than he is at minute.
I agree
Yep.
with all that. But is
Yeah.
that right? Is
I don't
that
think
right?
it is.
After
Maybe
He
not.
probably, maybe back in his day, he should have had an opportunity, but right now it's gone. That opportunity's gone.
I think your
Yeah,
Gerrards
I
and
agree.
Lampards, I think
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
understand this type of football more than like a few years ago. I think
Yeah.
Sam will be coming into an era now where he'll be trying to like get a draw against teams like Man City. I don't think he'll be able to do that as well as what he did back in there. I think he'll struggle now. But I think Gerrard and Lampard, I think they're a bit more used to it. But could be wrong.
Fair enough. Thurston fucking divided some opinions, like, didn't it? Well played.
Yeah. And I'm expecting this next one to be, because I've got an idea on what certain people might say. So I'm just going to fucking throw it at you now.
Go on then.
Number 2, the Champions League should be for champions only.
What do you mean?
What, for the champions of each league?
Yes.
Hmm.
If you're not a champion, you're not in it.
I think
Big
them
disagree.
boys are disagreeing because they'll never win league again.
Shut up, you dick.
Full
Big
out.
disagree.
Though, are you?
It just
I just think
makes
like
it
then
interesting.
like how many teams are you going to be competing? Like 8 tops.
Liverpool. That's when Gerrard won the
Are
Are
Champions
you
League,
talking
Liverpool.
about
Did I touch your nerve then,
stuff
Dan?
like that
Never
as
see
well?
that again.
You what,
I'm
man?
saying like
Did I touch your nerve then?
A little bit, yeah.
every
Why?
professional league in Europe, the champion of each. So you're talking your Kosovos still and your Macedonians. You're still getting their champions, but it's the champions only.
No.
I haven't written much about this, and I should
Definitely
have,
not.
because I weren't expecting you all to disagree. But I didn't know that competition started with 79 teams. Champions
That
League
is
starts
mad.
with 79
Yeah,
teams.
it starts in like July or qualifies and that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 qualification rounds, and after that, it goes to your 32.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's good because it generates a lot of money for clubs, doesn't it? And it's a big goal. Like if you're in and around it, like 6th, 7th, 8th,
It is
it's like
mint.
it's like
It's like the
50
pinnacle of like club, innit? Like,
it's like 50 million quid just for getting in it, and it's like mad money.
Yeah.
yeah.
Never mind money, just for entertainment. I like to
Yeah.
see an English club come up against an English club, me. And it happens a lot, doesn't
It's
it?
good for Prem because there's like sometimes an outsider going for that 4th spot, and like when Leicester got 4th as well, obviously they won it. So it's mint in it, like seeing someone challenging for Champions League that's not usually there.
An underdog.
And think
was
about how many
underdog,
times, like one more thing, think about how many times English clubs come up against each other in final. We've seen a lot growing up, haven't we?
Yeah.
Class.
Says it all about our league.
Fixture congestion. Oh, like that.
Mm.
Well, I've spoke about this. I just think
Take one of other cups out.
all other European countries, they're doing it right. They've got one league, one cup. And for some reason, England are like, oh, we're chucking a AFL Cup in there as well. Like that cup just makes no sense to me whatsoever. It never has and it never will. I just think it's pointless.
Your next one. It is absolutely fine to support more than one team.
What do we mean? We've got a bit of debate going off about what support means in this chat anyway. So you define what support means to you.
For me, it means same thing. If you're going to attach yourself to that club, you're attaching yourself to it. Is that right or is that wrong? I've still got 2 waiting. That's 3 disagrees.
Go on then.
Bully.
Go on
And
then.
Bull on his own way agree.
Go on
You
then.
daft cunt.
Bull.
That's because he's got a Man U
I
in it.
wouldn't say as far as like support, but I think you can have your local and then you can have just like your team like in another league where it's like a bit more like me, for example. I say I'll class myself as a Wednesday supporter, but when I'm watching like Premier League at a weekend, I'd like Man U to do well. So I think like
That's Man U through and through, Bull. That's always been
Do you
Man
know
U.
when you said that then,
Yeah.
Bull? When you said that then, you tried absolutely everything to make sure you didn't say that Man U fan on a weekend, didn't you? It's like,
Yeah.
when I'm watching on a
You've
weekend,
said
I
in
do
chat,
like to,
Bull, you're a Wednesday supporter, but a Man U fan. So what's the difference in them two words?
you can be a fan of a team, like you'd want them to do well and things like that. But like I don't go to games. Like I don't put any money into that club or things like that. Like I won't travel to go and watch Man U at Old Trafford.
Fan you.
Are you a Man U fan?
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah,
I've
I've been waiting years for you to finally admit that you're a Man U fan, and I've got
always
it
said
on
I'm a Man U
podcast
fan.
live.
But
And I'm a Liverpool
I go
fan.
and support Chef Wednesday because I get season tickets and I go to games.
I think it makes you a mug.
I claim to be a Liverpool fan, so if you were saying you're a Man U fan, I'll take that. After all these years, I finally got you to admit that you're a Man U fan.
I've always said I'm a Man U fan from start, but
I think it says a lot about them two clubs that you've chosen to support, that you've not got enough passion and pride just to pick one of them. Like there's not enough there in them. There's not enough there in them clubs for you to love that much that you.
I watch Man U on telly. That's it.
That's a very good point for us. Like, you can't clearly love Wednesdays that much if you like balanced on two.
I'm not balanced on two. I've just put agree because it's okay to like two teams.
Oh, would you say it's like your heart's 50% split? So like you can only love
half.
So where it's split then, Bull? Is it like 80-20?
Yeah, about 80-20. Yeah.
What to Man U 80, Wednesday 20?
I watch Man U when they're on telly. That's it. Like same as your Liverpool. Like when they're on telly, you'll watch them.
20%.
I went like go to games and like I went like fork out a grand or whatever it is to go and buy a season ticket. Like I won't go that far. Like when they're on telly, I'll watch them.
Did you say it's 80-20? So 80 to Chef Wednesday.
Man U in it 80.
Yeah,
I'd say it's more. Yeah. I'd say it's more like 60-40 Wednesday.
Because if you can put, if you can put 80, if you're 20% in Man United is what it is, you know everything about that club in and out. So imagine how much you know about Chef Wednesday then. If you're 80% loving them, because I never hear you talk about it.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I don't talk about them on this pod because all your teams are in Prem. So what's point
even in chat
about Wednesdays in League One when really none of y'all give a fuck. Like, what's the point?
But
Like,
why-
me coming to a pod after a weekend and thinking, oh, what about Wednesdays? All y'all
I'll
like,
say one
you know
thing,
what's
right?
going on?
If some random person got in our chat and was scrolling and looked and if they didn't know you, they'd think you were a Man U fan. That's in chat. That's not on podcast. That's
Because
just in
none of
our
y'all are
chat.
debating with me about Wednesdays. Because what's the point? Like, you don't know much about League One. There's no team.
I
your
follow
teams are not
scores
in
me,
League
and I want to
One.
give you shit, but I just think I'd rather give you shit for Man U because you're more passionate about them. So I see Wednesday scores. I think they're getting a right hiding, but
Not
I'm
about
not
being
gonna
more
say no.
passionate about them. It's just no one's here to debate about like football league with me. Like if
We
Leeds,
used to be
if
honest,
Leeds
we
win
used
League
to have some
One,
debates.
we'd have banter about it, we'd have debates about it, but none of your teams that you support, they're not in the same league as Wednesday. So what's the point me talking about them?
We used to have some
False.
debates back in day, but me and you
Boys.
about Leeds and Wednesdays.
Why do you disagree then?
I think that thing you said about your club having enough love for one club, and that's enough for you.
I'd happily watch another team play, but I won't like cheering them on and want them to win so much unless it benefited Liverpool.
Well, have you not got like a local team that you like to do well?
I like to see all local teams do well. If I'm being
Like a
honest with you.
Barnsley or like a, I'm not like
To
a
be
Rotherham,
honest,
like that.
I'd like to
you've
see them all
got
in
that for
prep.
Leeds. You've got that for Leeds, Ali.
I've been to loads of Leeds games. I'd like.
You can have
I
a
like,
soft spot, can't you?
yeah,
Yeah.
I've got a soft spot, but if Liverpool come up against them, I want them to tear them apart and that.
I think
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
people have got a soft spot for Leeds.
But if
Yeah.
Man U and Wednesday played each other, would you be torn?
In what say? Well, like an FA Cup game? Are you saying?
FA Cup final.
Well, any competitive
I said
fixture.
what Wednesdays to fucking go through. That's stupid.
All right, man.
Any
just like
other club
cause a
you'd
debate.
I'm
want
glad
Man
you
U to
reacted
win.
like that, to be fair. I'm glad you reacted like that because if you were torn, that would have proven the point, wouldn't it? Because I think there's a few things you've got to think about when you're choosing a soft spot. How far apart they are they same league or same country? How often they're good? Most importantly, when they play each other, are you certain you know who wants to win? You know?
I don't think I'll be ever in that position, to be fair.
Well, me either.
That's why it's all right.
I think we've covered that, boys.
Yeah, another good one though.
Right. This one I think's a good one. Straight on you. Number 4. The Invincible season was overrated. Now, just to be clear, that's in reference to Arsenal's 2003-2004 Premier League campaign in which they won the title by going unbeaten for the entire season. We're overrated.
Holy fucking
Only
hell.
reason
Bull agree.
It's never been done.
disagree,
It's
Ali
never been
disagree.
done since.
That's what I mean. That's the only reason why I've heard people like said agree with that statement, Key, but only reason I disagree is just that there's so many competitive games over so long, and no one's ever done it apart from that club. So
The amount of draws they had were just ridiculous. So like, I get it.
I
I'm
know.
I'm not saying it worked bad. I'm just saying agree to being a bit overrated. I'm not saying it's a class achievement. I'm not saying that at all.
yeah,
I think
it's
it's
so
said-
easy to lose, though, isn't it?
I
It's
think
so
brilliant.
easy to
like
lose.
since that point, the amount of teams that have had more points than Arsenal every season, I don't know the
Yeah.
numbers, but there's been a lot. Like your Liverpool's that finished second, teams like that, they've got more points than Invincible season.
And they
Says it
still
all for me.
can't do it.
I'll
Like
get numbers before we carry on chatting. So Arsenal's Invincible
then.
season were 26 wins, 12 draws, 0 losses, and they finished on 90 points. Following season, Jose Mourinho's Chelsea scored 95 points, which were 5 points more. They conceded less goals and they scored more goals. That was following season from Invincibles.
You haven't lost a game, but there'll be a lot of draws in there where they should be beating them teams, if that makes sense. So like your 0-0s where you're battering them, but you just can't put ball back in it. I think 12 draws in a season. I think that's a bit much.
No.
I said I'm not
just can't
taking
get
away from
past
them. They've never
losing,
lost.
mate.
Like fair play, but 12 draws.
38, is it 38 games? Not lost, not losing once.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
how
good.
easy is it to concede in them draws a 95th minute goal, like from a big header, but they've not switched off? Like,
Ruud van
brilliant.
Nistelrooy's penalty that it
Yeah.
smashed his bar.
Last minute.
Martin
Keown
Keown.
got
That
his
was
pay.
6th game at season, lads. That was
Yeah.
game 6 of the campaign. It could have been over then, but it weren't. It were meant to be. But then you look at Man City's Centurions when they 100 points. So I guess it's what criteria you.
Well, if
I wanna make a
that's up for
point.
debate, I'm saying that City's is a better season. But
I
Are
want
you
to make a
judging it
point,
on
mate.
points?
For
Are you
how
judging
good
it
that
on the
City
record?
team is, we're sorry, and how many points they got, they're a much better team than Arsenal side for me, that they still couldn't get a season without losing. For me, that's
Yeah.
crazy. So that for me, it
it's
can't
a
be
classic
argued.
team, but I just think it's a bit like all right, chill out now.
They did shocking at cups.
Yeah,
I think
not for me.
Middlesbrough knocked them out of 2 cups that season. But yeah, do you base it on points? Do you base it on accolades like United's treble? Like or is it just the achievement of being unbeaten?
I base it on that it's never been done since.
Yeah, I
from
think
that fact
until
alone.
until another team does it, it's just going to be spoke about. So
Yeah.
we need if like City do it like 2 or 3 times, then it's just going to be about City, and they'll be
They've
like,
got a golden Premier League trophy for that, like a mini one.
Rightly so for me.
Yeah, anyway, for me, City's Centurions and United's treble season were better than them. Good achievement, but yeah, it's just put too high. Held in too high regard for me.
Thank you.
Number 5.
Go.
Pele was overrated.
Fucking hell. Well, who's saying that?
We've got
Fucking
Gav
hell.
agree. We've got Ali disagree. Bullies agree.
How can we agree?
Ali's on
No, I'm not having it.
Go on then.
Why I'm saying disagree?
I'll tell you why.
I don't know what to. You've startled me. I can't believe you.
Played it Brazilian league.
Yeah.
Let me talk, right? For this reason alone,
Let me talk.
I've never seen him play live. I'm just going off what everyone else has said about him, all ex-professionals.
Yeah.
And for yours to all like say that, where have you got your evidence from? Who have you listened to?
well, you've said that then. Well, Scholes is best centre mid in world then, because
I've seen him with my own eyes.
Yeah,
I've
but you
watched
were
him
saying
play.
you're going off what everyone else is saying. All other professionals
Because
say
that's
Scholes
all
is
we've got.
best.
You haven't seen him as much as I haven't.
Thank you, Foz. Great point. I didn't think of that.
No. Because I've seen Scholes play, but you haven't seen Pele play. So where are your opinions coming from, all of you?
But where's your agree coming from then?
Because I'm listening to what everyone's saying about him and how highly rated he is.
I just think he gets highly rated because of the amount of goals he scored. But you've got to think about like where the goals are getting scored. Yeah, he had a good few
World
World
Cup.
Cups. Yeah, he had a good few World Cups.
Yeah.
That's it.
But unless
you're playing a big league.
So how do you know he's overrated then?
Gossip League.
How do you know he's underrated?
All time, and he's not even played in best continent.
How would you feel if, like, in 50 years' time, people saying about Lewandowski who have never seen him play when we all know that he's an absolute baller, but looking like German
Bundesliga's a top league.
Or Messi stayed in Spanish league. Obviously, then went to
but
French
Spanish league's a big league.
Is it?
And champion. What?
La
Liga's second biggest league.
Maybe it is now, but growing up for us, it was shit. But we're only Barcelona and Real Madrid.
It weren't.
All other teams were shite for me.
Mate, La Liga's the second biggest league in the world, competitive wise.
Fact.
I agree. But
growing up, how many big strikers can you name in Brazilian league?
Diego Costa.
You can't compare Brazil
because they don't want to play in that league.
Same thing about Maradona for part
Not
of his
only
craft.
do I think he's overrated, not only do I think he's overrated, but I think he's the most overrated player of all time.
Yeah.
All time.
Strong opinion, Key. I appreciate that.
Older generation, right, have labelled this man the greatest of all time, and we've all just blindly followed it, and nobody's bothered to look into facts, right? Santos were Pele's club. He had 18 seasons at Santos, and then he went to New York Cosmos in America and just retired. Cosmos.
In America, before like playing football in America were like a thing, like when it were absolutely rock bottom.
Never played Champions League football.
Pele, Santos used to take him out on European and world tours because people would pay money to watch him play, and this is where a lot of his games came about. Exhibition matches where he could literally be playing against anybody but lads. Like whoever lads from fucking factory, you know what I mean, just got together on the dinner break and had a kick out of Pele.
There were rumours that like he used to count like his training goals as his like overall like career goals and that. Like he used to like add like 100 odd that he scored in training and that.
Ronaldo broke record, but Pele put a thing out saying, "No, I scored 900 and odd." But then, like, official FIFA checked it and said, "No, you didn't, mate."
You're just like adding goals on, isn't it?
I've got his unofficial and official goals. Now, his official goals are still fucking mind-blowing, I'll tell you. So, unofficially, he played 1,363 games and scored 1,283 goals unofficially. Officially, he played 812 games and scored 757 goals, right?
Well, you've got to go off official, haven't you? Because
But that's absolutely mad. That's one of the sickest ratios of all time. It's crazy. But look, the level of
Can you doubt it?
depending.
We're
in the Brazilian league, which were miles behind Europe at the time anyway. He stayed there his full career. And someone said, name a good attacker in Brazil. Name me an elite defender in Brazil in 1950s, late 90s. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't do it. They weren't about. It would have. For
me, you're only as good as your opponents in front of you. Like,
that's right.
Yeah.
If
he was so shit, how's he winning World Cups and that?
Because he's
We're not saying he's shit. We're not saying
overrated. Sorry.
It's
not
not
about his World Cups now. He won 3, right? He scored 77 goals in 92 games for Brazil, which is it's mad, isn't it?
You're talking about individual cups then. So Gerrard's never won a Premier League. So like
no, I'm on about goals.
What's different here? You're saying but you said how's he winning World Cups? There's another 10 players around.
Let me carry on. What I'm saying is, why would Brazil pick him in national side then, and for him to win 3 World Cups?
Because he will
and as he's scoring, no. And as he's scoring all these goals against all these top defenders, because he's world class. He's one at best ever.
Yeah, but he's not won the World Cup on his own.
Read them numbers again, Key. World Cup goals. Listen, what are them numbers?
He's not won the World Cup on his own.
We're talking about him being overrated. He's been talked about to be like the first or second best of all time.
What are them numbers?
That's what the conversation is. He's not.
Pele never won a golden boot. If Pele weren't in that team, Brazil still would have won those World Cups. In his first World Cup win, Pele scored 6 goals. Pele scored 6 goals in his first World Cup. His teammate, Joseph Fontaine, scored 13 to Pele's 6.
Never heard of it.
Exactly. Right? He's not even best player in Brazil, Pele.
I mean, he got his assist, Pele, over his career as well.
Right? His second World Cup win. His second World Cup win. He played first game, got injured in second. They still went on to win World Cup comfortably. His third World Cup, he scored 4. Jairzinho was the top scorer with 7. So he were always outscored in these major tournaments. Whenever he were
when he comes up against good players.
He always outscored, mate.
He scored all his goals in friendlies and qualifiers, that's why.
What you got to think about as well, he's playing in a shit league, so he's not exactly being tested every week. He's basically having a run around against these shit players. Yeah. Coming up against England and that, were absolutely battling it out every week against good opposition. So he's coming into a tournament that's easy for him because he's not fucked.
Yeah.
He weren't the standout player, he was a good player.
I think it's class, but I just think when you're talking him among players like Maradona, Messi, Ronaldo, absolutely no chance. On your bike.
There you go. Right.
Yeah.
You tell me if Pele could go against Sergio Ramos, fucking Paolo Maldini, Cannavaro. What Pele's doing it to them.
Yeah.
Come on. He's not, is he?
I don't like saying this because I don't know what defenders were like back then. I ain't got a clue.
Not as good as they are today.
None of us really do.
We don't, but like what we're saying is like we haven't heard any names. I don't hear, like, I think it was Foz that said, like, you don't hear people talking about defenders from back in there because there obviously weren't any.
Maybe nobody's saying he weren't a good player because his record and his numbers are fucking.
I don't think defenders get more limelight these days. They get more credit
because they're better.
No, I just think games evolve more and we get more appreciation. Like back in them days, everyone wanted to be a striker.
Tackling.
Yeah.
Defending's evolved, Ali, since then. Defending's evolved. Defending's got better.
I think it happens in other sports. You know, like it's just easy to get labelled like greatest of all time. I think same about Muhammad Ali. I think prime Mike Tyson would have wiped him out. But that's for another conversation.
Another day, that, isn't it?
I think it's just very easy to say, hey, he was best ever. Like Jimi Hendrix, best guitarist ever, people say it. He weren't. There's people miles better than him. just like
generations above
You.
them passing it down, and you just follow it because everybody.
Yeah, like you said, you just
And
get
that's
told it. You just get told it from an early age. I mean, like it just sticks with you. And like that's like
Yeah.
it's always in your head because you got stuck with it.
yeah, that's it.
I wish we could get
You
someone's
get-
opinion or who's seen him play, but it's going to be hard, isn't it?
See if
They're all-
we can get it in comments.
They're all dead.
Mm.
Old boy on Facebook.
And there's not much footage of him outside of World Cups as well either, because he were playing in Farmers League in Brazil. So you only got to see him once every fucking 4 years. You know what I mean?
You think
That's where his
about
number. Who knows what he were doing? Who knows how many goals he scored?
even
So
top
we'll move
leagues.
it on.
Just one last point. Even top leagues these days, like French league, you get like plumbers and shit in that.
That's
and
not a
farmers.
top league.
No, no, but
I know what you're saying,
Just
but
think
top,
about
top
Brazilian league.
yeah.
Someone who's at the bottom of Brazilian league in 50s, you'll have been coming up against fucking probably like old men and shit like that, just whoever they could get inside. It'll have been shocking.
But you've reminded me, Dav, like I was reading a bit about him, and in games where Pele scored 3 or more goals, Santos won those games by double digits.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean? There were
Incredible.
cricket scores every single time. It was just, they were on a completely different planet to anyone around them.
Like, does that say something about Pele, or does that say something about the defence?
I only
It's
respect.
just, it's to be debated, isn't it? Yeah.
I
guess.
respect a one club man, me. You've got to respect a one club man.
You hate
Yeah.
Paul Scholes.
Stayed in safety net.
Do you respect Paul Scholes? Do you fuck?
Respect
One
to
of
one
that
club
Stevie
man
G.
and put Paul Scholes 8.
Stevie G.
No. Respect when one club man.
Stevie G was shitting
Scholes
himself.
retired
He
and-
wasn't going to be able to do
But he
it.
had, but he still had some tanking, some steaming tank, didn't he? He had to pull him
Yeah,
back out of
back though, didn't he?
retirement.
Number 6. Diving is part of the game and it should be accepted.
Oh,
Ali disagrees. Dav disagrees.
What Muppet saying, man?
Boz disagrees. Bull disagrees. Full house. I was expecting a full house.
I think
I don't know.
it's a fine line between diving and being smart sometimes, because like even like your commentators nowadays, like they'll comment saying like you should have gone down, and like you know little things like that where like they got clipped but they could have stayed on the feet. Is that diving? If they get like a tiny clip, it's a fine line.
Yeah,
between
that's not a
full on
dive, it's just-
yeah, that's what I mean.
We've
Like,
all
if
had
someone gets
situations.
clipped and they know for a fact that they can stay on the feet because they've got good balance, but they throw it on the floor anyway. Is that a dive?
If you can stay on your feet when you're about to have potential to score and you don't get a pen, then it serves you right.
So are you saying they should go down then?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, if there's enough contact-
agree
that's
with that.
diving then.
No, it isn't. In fact, sorry, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. If you can stay on your feet when you're about to go and have a chance to score, then do it. But if you go down, then it serves you right. You give ref a chance to either get it or not. But if you can go through and potentially score, then go for it. I don't see why you'd want to go down.
Yeah.
If you can't,
I
help it, go
disagree
down.
because I remember a time watching football. Me and my dad were watching football, and I never saw any diving in English Premier League. Never. Like it were hard back in the day when there were Roy Keane and all that stuff. And then we watched. I think we watched a game, and we used to watch Real Madrid or Barcelona every Sunday round at my grandma and granddad's, me and my dad. And every single person started diving, like, and they never used to do it back in the day.
Yeah.
And then it just started, and we noticed it clearly that it was coming into the game, and we hated it.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I think just every single season, it's just got more and more. And then some of them players came over to Premier League, and then they started doing it in Premier League. And
Yeah. It's so bad in other leagues. Like if you watch games in other league, it's an absolute joke. So not just diving, like just being dramatic.
Italians.
They'll get like a touch to shoulder and they'll go like hold the face and that. I hate
What's
it.
what Italians like?
Italians are awful.
They start jumping up and start going like that.
Do you know what annoys me like most in footy? Like attackers get all fucking stick for diving, but defenders are worse. You know, like if they're running back,
And keepers, Dad. If they get a
Yeah.
touch,
soon as the defender gets a touch on his back,
Yeah.
it could literally be a player like
Yeah.
that. They go down.
When they know that they're in a bit of trouble and that, they feel
Yeah.
a bit of contact on the back and they just like throw this on the floor.
it bothers me a lot, that, Dad.
A team-
And
a team-
keepers, when they
a
come for
team-
the corner and drop it.
a team needs a goal. There's like 2 minutes left. And you're thinking, you can just see it coming. You're going, don't foul him, don't foul him, don't foul him. And they just get it every time. I want to see that fucked
That
up,
one we
man.
Yeah, I do that.
that Kane goal that got disallowed of a week with Thiago
Yeah.
Silva. That's an example. Like he felt a bit of touch up back and he went down. Like it's smart, but is it?
I
ready
thought
for
that
the
would have
game?
fouled me.
I
But
think
now
it's
it's in game. Managers have got to work on it on the
Oh,
training
yeah.
ground.
You're at a disadvantage. if you don't,
You've like if you don't work on it. So is it right or wrong? Because you're working on it in training. Because if managers will say, if you're in that situation, just go down.
Yeah, and
so
if you
it's
don't,
in the game.
if you don't, managers getting you a bollocking, you're getting dropped next week.
exactly. So you've
Yeah.
got no
Between
choice.
you, Dav, between you and Fowler there, I think you've made a pretty good point. Like, if you know it works, you might as well perfect it. You might as well get good at it. And like, because it's become such a part of the game, it's evolved strategically. So it's not a striker going down for a pen anymore. If you're having a rough 5-10 minutes and you're under cosh, a centre half can shield ball, just feel something in his back and go down, just to break up play, just to slow things down.
Winning free kicks in like good areas and that as well. Like you players like you draft.
You're not telling me Leeds
like
United. I think Leeds United fucking work on that, me, because Luke Ayling, Liam Cooper, they're so clever for that. Strouk is another one. They just know they can feel them coming.
They get a little nudge.
Yeah, and it's good every time.
Is that a dive though? Is that a dive?
You remember?
And do you know when they do it? This is the thing, right? When I see a Leeds United player do that on edge box when we're under a bit of pressure, I say, well done. And I know it's wrong. And I know it's wrong. So is it
everyone does if it's their own
part of the game?
You got to remember as well. Go on, Fowler.
Go on, Dad. No, you go, mate.
I'm gonna say you got to remember these are athletes who are training every single day. Some of them are 6'4", fucking the strongest fuck. The legs are like fucking sack, like you know what I mean, like and they're going down from being touched, like
Did
you see that?
Plus, they're getting a free kick, aren't they? It's taking them away from box.
Yeah, do you see that clip of Rob Holding? You know when we were in lockdown and they were doing games behind closed doors, you can like hear everyone. Rob Holding's like touched Adama Traore, has gone down, and you can hear him go, "Ref, he's built like a brick shit house." Because just from you can just hear it clear as day. Funny as all.
They're heading
to be honest,
like players like that, they don't go down with a touch to the
goalkeepers kick ball fucking miles in air, like full length of the pitch, and they'll happily head it. That hurts more than getting a fucking little slap on face. And Do you know what I mean? It's embarrassing.
It can change a course of a game. That just suffering a bad spell, being able to reset yourself.
Bad smell. Stinks in here.
Fucking
bad
me.
smell.
Should we move on? I'm stinking place out.
yeah.
Right. This one's going to divide us, I think.
We need that.
I hope so.
Winning the English Premier League is a greater achievement than winning the UEFA Champions League. Do you agree or disagree?
Hold up at the same time.
Premier League's better than Champions League.
Yeah.
Harder to do.
Harder to
greater
do.
achievement.
Yeah,
Winning the
greater
Premier
achievement.
League, greater achievement than winning the Champions League.
It depends who you ask, doesn't it, really?
I'm asking you, dickheads.
Yeah, he's asking you.
I know, but
We
I
all
think,
agree.
yeah.
Everyone's agreed.
Go
I thought,
on, Keith.
Ali, I thought I'd get a bite out of you, Ali. I thought you'd have said Champions League, being biased. But
I think Liverpool proves it a bit with being 30 years since they've won it. And then there's how many Champions Leagues were in it? 2.
2 between that, yeah. And a final. In fact, 2 finals as well as that. So 4 finals altogether.
Yeah.
got to be Premier League, isn't it?
Yeah.
38 game season.
Apart from World Cup, I think it's probably the hardest thing to win.
Yeah.
Consistency week in, week out. Like with Champions League, you can be good for one night and you can go through, even though you're not that good.
There's no
I know it goes over 2 legs eventually, but you'll have to be good for one night really, and you're through.
There's no easy game in Premier League either, is there?
No.
You can't guarantee that City will beat Norwich. Like could be easy be a draw. Like it probably will happen, but put it to another league like PSG versus fucking whoever, Mets or something.
It's a tough one because Champions League's massive. Think about who's in that competition; it's ridiculous. But
yeah,
I just think the consistency-wise, I think you'd rather win Prem to prove that you were good for a longer period.
Most of the time over the years, we've dominated it as well, haven't we, English teams, in terms of like getting
Liverpool have.
Getting through to the final and semi-final. I think English teams have probably been most.
Let's get something interesting in, Key. Come on.
Well, I'm not going to split you on this. I know I'm not. Rangers and Celtic would compete for the top 6 in England. Dav, strong disagree there, nice and quick. Ali, disagree. Fowler, disagree.
Oh,
Both fancies it.
go on then, Bob.
I think the range of the past couple of seasons, I think they're challenged now, mate.
The challenge against Man U, then they could do Man U, turn them on.
We'll fucking
the
keep our
conversation
roof up
is
front.
challenged the top six. I think they'll comfortably be in top half.
So you're putting a bet? Oh, you're putting him above?
Yeah, but not top
Prem.
6. He said top 6.
He said, he said challenge. He's not. I'm not
Compete
supposed
for the
to name
top
like
six.
five
Liverpool,
teams. That are there.
City, Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, Man U. So over better than.
I'm saying
Yeah,
challenge. I'm not saying they're
what
better.
both
I'm
Over
saying
going
they
to
could
challenge
challenge.
then. Over going to challenge. Over
Go
going to
top
pip to
8,
one of them
top
places.
10s. Think of them teams.
Man U then. Are we going to pick Man U?
You're just changing the question here.
No, I'm not. I'm just putting it into context for you.
You're asking
City,
me who
Liverpool,
they're going to finish
Chelsea.
above. Like, I don't know, but
No,
I'm just thinking,
who
like,
could- who
if they're
could
in
they
Prem,
pip?
I
Who
think
could they
they'd like
potentially
challenge
pip?
for like get like a maybe scrape for like a Europa League place, maybe.
So who could we potentially pip out all them teams in this day and age? United, Arsenal, or
United,
Spurs?
Arsenal, Tottenham.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I'm having that. I hate Man U, but I'm not having that.
I know it's a bit of a dead league, but I think they're a good side.
You got to think what they do in Champions League.
I know, we're getting
Get pummeled.
absolutely annihilated.
Straight
Mind you,
out.
so do
Rangers
United.
don't.
They
So
do.
do Man U. In fact, talking to Man U, FA Cup, Vanyik's at the well. Vanyik's at the well.
This is a kid who says he don't care about Man U.
At the well. Vanyik's at the well. Vanyik's at the well. At the well. Vanyik's at the well. Vanyik's at the well. At the well. Vanyik's at the well. Vanyik's at the well. At the well. Vanyik's at the well.
All right then, fucking hell.
Oh.
Did you see that
Not
little
really.
touch from Johnny House and Key when he
I
scored his
saw it.
penalty?
Lovely.
Went over to Stretford end and like doing that in front of Stretford end. Johnny Housen
Good lad.
smirking. He's only doing it because he's Leeds.
Always nice, mate. Always nice. Do you remember his two against Carlisle to get us through to playoffs to Wembley?
Yeah, unreal.
Oh my god. Anyway,
Oh,
last one from me, and then we'll get on to yours. So my last one is Lionel Messi couldn't do it on a cold Tuesday night in Stoke. Dav agrees. Foz disagrees. Bull disagrees. Dav on his own.
I mean, not
Well,
saying
it's
it's
tell you
been
why.
PSG teams, mate. It's an absolute joke.
Shall I take wheel then?
Got after.
Yeah, man.
He's come close now in French league, hasn't he? So as close as he's going to get to like out of his comfort zone and that, going to some dirty little grounds and that. Scored 1 league goal.
Not anymore.
Scored last night.
are you talking right now? If he moved now, Key, or just like in his history, in his prime? What?
Yeah, I'm talking right now.
Right now,
Next
I
week.
still think.
Yeah,
I still think he'd do it.
I'm still backing it.
I'm
Do
still
what?
backing it.
Do
Do you know how
what?
many times it would work for PSG? I
Turn
only
up,
found
put
out
on a show.
yesterday. I think it's 10 times. Is it would work 10 times?
Yeah, that's a miss. That's off target.
Yeah, but he's getting unlucky, innit? Still, I've been watching highlights and shit there, and he's still doing sick. Still linking up mint and stuff, assisting and
He's
getting in
gone-
them positions.
he's
I
gone
think he'd
from-
do mid in Prem.
What about
They'll
if
come
Ryan
good.
Shawcross is hanging off his back though? And it's 3 hailstorm, mate, and it's smashing him in.
He's been kicked all his career. You know,
It's
been
Lionel
spinning-
Messi, like.
he's had Ramos
been-
booting.
Yeah, he's been
off
spinning
every
Ramos
single-
for last decade.
You don't get much nastier than Ramos.
Oh, by a Munich player he put on his arm.
Pepe.
Boateng.
Boateng.
Yeah, but he flat on
Proper put him
Boateng
on
and
his ass.
Dink Neuer.
Oh,
That were in his comfort
He's had-
zone though.
did you
Yeah,
see his
I
little
know,
dink
but you
last
said
night?
comfort
against
zone.
English
You said-
teams is a joke.
Oh,
He's
saw
been-
his goal last night. Oof,
Hey,
lovely
I
little
think-
dink.
He's
So
been-
fucking.
He's been raised up to be main man from day one with an
He's-
absolute right seed right team.
You
Right.
raise
absolute-
yeah.
He smashed Premier League teams in Champions League though. Every time English teams went up against Messi for Barca. He's scoring like 4 goals against them and stuff. Like Arsenal,
Yeah, he scored 4 goals in one game against Arsenal.
Man U in
yeah,
final.
2 goals against Man U in a final.
Arshavin scored 4 against Liverpool, mate, and he's not like world class, is he?
What I've took this point as is when he said, "Can he do it?" Can he reach the heights what he did at Barca like last season and season before in Premier League? I think he'd get half at goals that he did in La Liga.
He was saying his prime like a few years ago. If he went to Premier a few years ago,
I'm thinking like he's not been able to do it in French league. What are you laughing at?
Yeah, he keeps winking at me after doing Arshavin. Go on, I'm listening.
Do you think he'd score 30 odd goals in Premier League if he were there now?
No.
If he's playing for City, I think he would.
I was going to say if he went to like a top 2 team, I think he would.
I don't think
Put him in a Liverpool team, mate, and he's bagging. Yeah,
I think
Origi,
City.
though.
Like,
not a Origi.
I can't believe he didn't go to City. Like, it was a dream move for us all.
Ronaldo and Messi would have both been in Prem now, lads.
I know it would have been amazing.
In a Manchester derby.
Oh,
Yeah, that'd have been sick, wouldn't it?
On a Super Sunday, like
Fucking hell.
4:30.
We didn't get it.
No, never will.
Not meant
oh, we've
to
got
be.
Nari Sue, 37-year-old running around at corner flag screaming Sue.
No trophy to invite.
Who's too?
Susan Boyle.
Sue.
Subo.
Right, I'll shift it on. It's time for our opinions. And I wanted you to get controversial. And you have, to be fair. You've done just that.
Are you going to read out who said it or not? Just like read them.
I'm undecided.
Well, should we all guess who said it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't read them out. Let's just all go for it.
Right, fair enough. Opinion number 1. And guess what?
Mine.
I'm playing. I've been playing all the way through, but fuck it.
I bet it took you hours to colour them in.
First thing I did when I got back, mate. Quick shade. Conceit. Effect.
Nice.
Wank.
Cheers, mate.
Put more time in than I have.
That's a fucking dickhead, that.
Soz lad.
Right, I will move on. I'm going to say it now. This is opinion number 1. Right. No Manchester United player in the current starting 11 will ever win a Premier League trophy with Manchester United.
Oh,
Oh, I heard you,
20%.
that was- I
That's
could tell that
definitely
hurt
Ali's.
you.
That's definitely
That's
Alex.
definitely Ali's.
yeah.
So they're not winning a Prem title anytime soon.
We all agree, don't we?
Not with United, no.
So when are Man United next winning a Premier League?
You
10
tell
years
me.
plus.
Oh, it's a long
I'm going to say
time.
something. Newcastle will win a Premier League before Man United will. Next.
That's too far.
I wonder
You
what
wanna bet,
odds you
Bull?
get on that.
Do you want to bet, Bull?
Yeah.
You might never even win. If they never
we
win,
could both put
either
a
of
grand
them,
down,
you never
but
get
some
any
of
more
them
money.
never win.
Oh, I reckon we'll see one of them win.
Newcastle are not winning league.
I bet you 50 quid.
Right then.
Next 5 years, Newcastle won't win a league.
I've made some right bets on these podcasts, me.
You're gonna be skint, you.
Who did that?
Barcelona.
I'm guessing it were Ali then.
That were Ali's opinion.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. Opinion number 2. Nah. It's Pep Guardiola will always be considered an average manager until he takes a hard job and turns a team into title winners.
Ooh.
He never will.
It's not a question. Agree, Bull. Agree, Dav. Disagree, Ali.
I agree.
What? So he'll always be seen as what manager?
Average.
So,
Average.
Pep Guardiola
Average.
will always be considered an average manager until he takes a hard job and turns a team into title winners.
How can you say he's average?
So until
I disagree. I do think he needs to do that, but I disagree because he'll never be seen as an average manager because that's not what he is. Like, he's not an average manager.
No. Yeah.
But you're saying he is your two, aren't you?
Maybe average is the wrong word, but
Yeah.
That's
That's
what he
the
said.
word I'm going on.
That's what he asked us.
It was me who said it. It's my point.
Hey,
So I'll explain it.
if we're using the word average and we're not changing that word, I'm putting disagree with him because I don't think he's like world class top tier, but I do think he's a good manager.
I think he's best there is out there now.
Do you know like what Klopp's done at Liverpool?
And then Gerrard.
I think that's a bigger achievement than what he's done at City.
Just finance.
I do, Dav.
Coaching wise,
Transformed a team from whatever they were shocking, weren't they? When he first got there, what do they have? Balotelli up top and shit like that. I can't remember side. He had fuck all.
Marini, Ricky Lambert.
Just to put things in perspective, Pep Guardiola had 4 seasons at Barca. He won La Liga 3 times in a row. He won Champions League twice. He had 3 seasons at Bayern Munich. He won domestic double. He won Bundesliga 3 times in a row. Club World Cup, UEFA Super Cup. Man City's had 6 seasons. He had a Centurion season. He's done domestic treble. He's won Premier League 3 times. He's just not won a Champions League.
Yeah.
But average.
Yeah, but you know what? All of them teams, debatable Bayern Munich, always looked better when they were under Pep.
But
they always
the won leagues before and the winning leagues after. That's my point. I'm saying like
not Barca.
Bayern Munich since
Barca
not struggled, have they? Like, come on.
Barcelona.
Barcelona just financially like they're fucked.
Yeah, no, but since Pep left, they've gone downhill. Since Pep left, they've not.
Leagues after Pep went, didn't they?
Yeah, I know, but they've not won as much and they've not been as consistent and as dominant as when they were under Pep.
I think it'd be the same with City. I think if he left at the end of the season, I still think they'll win league for the next 3 or 4 seasons. City
looked more dominant with Pep than they did before Pep.
Definitely.
I just want to
that because they got better players.
I want to see him take a project on me.
I understand your point.
Like Tottenham or Arsenal or something.
Yeah.
He'll never do it.
A top level manager, you're looking at consistency, and that's not easy to get no matter what team you manage. And Pep's got the record. He's got the record for the most consecutive wins in Premier League, La Liga, and Bundesliga. So he's going across Europe and he's putting consistent runs together with what he's got. Yeah, he's got money to spend, but you put him next to other managers, and it's hard to argue. But he's not.
That's the debate, isn't it? If you went to a mid-table team with not that much money, do you think he'd do that well? If you went to like, I don't know, Wolves, as an example, do you think he'd get him into like Champions League football or something? I don't think he would.
That's why I respect Mourinho. Like Mourinho back in day, he went to a lot of sides that weren't considered the biggest teams at that point, and he did really well for
Porto and Inter Milan.
Yeah, Porto.
Yeah. Even Chelsea when he went to Chelsea.
Fuck off! He spent a fortune.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say Chelsea because they did have money.
Yeah, but he bought the player. He spent a fortune, but he recruited the players to win the league, and he did that successfully.
He turned down Ronaldinho and wanted Drogba, didn't he?
Yeah, and I'm saying Pep's good.
But you were saying Mourinho did it differently, but when he came to Chelsea, did not but spend money then.
I think Mourinho's
he's still got to recruit the players. He's still got to recruit the right players.
Yeah,
like
he picked Drogba, mate, from league French league. He weren't a big signing then.
I think
no one wanted Drogba back then.
Of course he did.
Who wanted Drogba back then?
I remember him being sick for Marseille.
No, he weren't doing that. Yeah, but there's players round there that were bigger than Drogba. 100%. Like Carvalho and stuff. He signed Carvalho. He signed some players that he turned into absolute beasts.
He did that, but he splashed a lot of cash, is what I'm saying.
We're ranking Mourinho at like all-time managers. I think you're five in no particular order. I don't know if anyone wants to correct me. Obviously, you got your Fergie. I think you've got Pep and Klopp. I think you've got Mourinho, and I think you've got Arsene Wenger as your 5. You can switch one with whatever order you want.
This day and age,
I've not got Klopp in my top 5 managers of all time.
Fergie managing now would be a small fish in a big pond.
I'm having Klopp in my top 5.
Yeah,
But
listen,
why?
Fergie managing in this day and age would be a small fish in a big pond. He wouldn't be able to compete with some of these boys. I'm serious. It won't be. It's not as tactical as like your Klopps and your Guardiolas now.
I agree with that, and reason
Honestly,
being,
I mean that.
look at Mourinho like struggling. It's because it's
I
that,
agree.
that old-fashioned style of like being nasty to your players don't work anymore.
No.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
Can't
but
be chucking air
that's the
dryer about
conversation we were
these.
having about Big Sam as well, weren't it? It's like it's
Well, yeah.
different types of football, isn't it? It's like
They all just go and run and cry to their agents.
Fergie was never like known as being like a tactical genius. He was just like a good man manager.
It's just because teams weren't as good as they were back then as they are now. Like how many points? I think Fergie's most points he finished on. I might be wrong, but I feel like it's about 86. 86, and he's winning Prems and man.
I disagree with the standard of teams. I think a lot of teams back then they could have won more than now. Arsenal, like they can't win it now, but they could. Like you got your Liverpool's and your Chelsea's.
Would
your
Fergie
Man
cut
City's
it today, Bull? Would Fergie cut it today?
Yeah.
He won't be getting.
But
He won't be
what do
getting
you mean by
100
cut
points.
it, though?
Get 100 points for his team to win.
I think,
honestly-
I think if he came back to Man U, I think they'd do. I think they'd challenge a bit more.
We won't be getting 100 points to the winning.
I honestly think it shows how good
Klopp
Bielsa is. That Bielsa, how
Klopp
good he
does.
is. That he's got that old man mentality, and he's got this view, and everyone just sticks to it. No one, like, if anyone disagrees with Bielsa, they're just not in that side. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, everyone just agrees with his philosophy. in
It should be
football.
case with every manager that,
But it's not, is it, these
No,
days?
no,
And that
yeah.
shows how good Bielsa is, that everyone at Leeds is on board. And
Yeah, first thing you've got to get respect, haven't you? You've got to get fucking people to respect you first of all. If you haven't, then
Yeah.
you folks can start.
I've not heard a bad word about Bielsa from any Leeds player, not one.
Right. Next one. Manchester United's 1999 title-winning team was better than Liverpool's title-winning team.
Ooh.
Fowler agrees. Bull agrees.
I can't think
Wayne
of players. I wish I had
Liverpool,
teams in front of me.
I want your answers, boys.
Okay.
Against two disagrees. Perfect split. I love it.
Can I go first?
Of course you can, pal.
I'm a massive believer in the game has like got better and better and better and better. It's quite
We all agree with
a long
that.
time. It's a long time ago, isn't it? Like 23 years ago.
Yeah.
I just think you can't underestimate how far it's come. Like nutrition, training, the way professionalism's come into it, and that they all used to have a fucking Sunday roast and shit like that, didn't they? I just think it'd surprise you how much they won't be able to keep up. Like if they came into this league now, which against the same team, I just think you'd be surprised how much better they are.
But
Couldn't
surely
agree more.
them players that were bad, that were good in day, and if they had the same nutrition, the same training,
Yeah.
they'd be even better
You
players.
just kind of like contradicted your points and like they didn't like diet well and they ate shit, but they won
No.
a fucking treble.
But I'm thinking
But
that team as they are against
Yeah,
this
that's what
team
we're
as they
saying,
are,
isn't it? The 1919.
You can't say, you know what I mean? It's like
Put them up player for player now.
the athletes that they
Debate them
are
all.
against the athletes that they are.
Player for player, do
Yeah.
you really want to do that?
Yeah, definitely.
Because you've
Keepers.
only got Van Dijk and Chuffing Salah that would probably
Alisson
even get in
against
that
who?
team.
Schmeichel.
Schmeichel.
Move on.
Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes.
Mane.
None at
Mane Giggs.
midfielders. None at midfielders.
Mane. You're taking Mane over Giggs.
100%.
Oh my God.
Biggs is an absolute.
Oh my God.
Get Giggs his numbers up.
And
Yeah,
I'll
Giggs he's got the most assists in Premier League history.
He had about
Ryan
20
Giggs
seasons in Prem.
Ryan Giggs has got
In
most
fact, that
assists in Premier
season, get
League
me his
history.
numbers up. Dav, get his numbers up. Giggs, that season, 99, his numbers were horrendous.
I
I think he
can't be
scored
asked.
4 goals.
It's not about that though.
Get me his numbers
Dav.
up. Yeah, no, it is. It's about 99.
Dav, who are you
season.
having, Mane or Giggs?
That year, if he's scoring 4 goals in a season, Dav, it's not even a debate. I'm going to get it up now.
Like the question is that like I'd take Mane for that season against. You were
Yeah, but we're not
absolutely on,
talking about one season.
you were
like,
absolutely on
player.
fire.
Mane had that one season. Since then, he's gone downhill again.
But that's the season in question.
Giggs did it season in, season out, mate.
Yeah, he did.
No, he did.
Consistency.
Consistency.
He didn't,
So what?
boys.
So what?
Look at him. Look at him. Getting
3
desperate.
goals.
That's
He
the body
scored
sport.
3 goals.
What he said
that
earlier,
season.
Keith.
I can't believe that you.
He says if anyone
you
gets the
rate
phone
Manny
out and gets
over
stats,
Ryan
I'm going to call them
Giggs.
desperate.
True, but I had to get him.
That's
Got
so
3
bad.
goals.
That
3 goals in 99.
You got to
He's
go.
a
Got to go for
treble.
that season.
I'm just talking about Giggs as a player, man.
yeah, I am.
I'm not. We're on about the season.
Like
That's
we're
what the
talking
question
about,
was.
like the all-time world 11s.
There's been a few times in this podcast where you've not understood questionable and you've changed your answer. You're doing it
It's
again now.
it's his opinion.
It's my opinion, so I'm not
But
changing my mind. What am I
No, but you
changing
did
my mind
earlier.
with?
You said, all right, then if we're saying that, I think it was like if average, the word average, you change your answer then. And
Well,
now
am I not allowed to change my opinions on stuff like? Is this not?
of course
what
you
it's
are,
about?
but this is read the question again, Key.
Manchester United's 1999 title-winning team was better than Liverpool's title-winning team.
So you can't judge Giggs over his career. We're on about that season. He scored 3
Well,
goals.
How many trophies did Man U win that season?
Trophies don't
Hence-
matter.
Hence the word treble. How many did Liverpool
We're
win?
comparing
One.
player
Thank
for
you.
player. That's what we're debating.
We're talking about team.
But would
3 goals.
So you're talking to me about changing question. Changing question. He said team.
Yeah.
That is the
Yeah.
question.
All right, and but
So are we
Giggs
changing it now? No,
contributed
we're not changing it
3
now
goals
because
in that
you
towards
just,
that
you
team.
just change it when it suits you.
No.
How
towards
many
that
assists
team,
did
Giggs
he get that
contributed
season?
3. I don't know.
Right,
But that was his. He
talking
weren't the
about
goal
team,
scorer.
You know, if
Manny
you're talking about Premier League
Pisses
team,
on Giggs.
if you're talking about a Premier League team over a 38-game Premier League season, Liverpool were better. If you're comparing Premier League season to Premier League season,
Yeah, they
Liverpool
won
were
more
far
points that
better.
season, but they only won
Read
one
numbers.
trophy.
Well, Manchester United won league in the 98-99 season. They finished on 79 points. They won 22, they drew 13, and they lost 3 games. In comparison, Liverpool finished on 99 points, which is 20 points
Ridiculous.
more.
Liverpool would have
Ridiculous.
scored race.
They won 32
24.
games, which is 10 more. They drew 3, which is 10 less, and they lost 3, which is same.
That's
But
mad.
the question
Man U won the
was.
league.
They won a two race. They're about 4 or
The
5.
question was
that
the
could have won that
98
season.
Man U's 98 team was better than that Liverpool's
99.
team.
98.
It was
Title-winning
98, mate.
teams.
It says
It was
99,
98,
mate.
You were
Mate,
It said
98.
98.
98-99 season.
Yeah,
So,
so
yeah,
the
99.
2
team
years of the
started
season,
in
Alan.
98, so it's the 98 team.
20 points difference. 10
Yeah,
games
but like
more.
you're
they
saying that they're a better team. They were a better team. They won the fucking treble. Like, that is a better team.
And the proper treble, not you shitty like, oh, they won 3 trophies. They won the proper.
You can't argue with how many points they got, but they smashed it.
You
20
can't
points
argue
more.
with 3 trophies.
20 points more,
No,
but would have
first place is first
demolished them.
place. Running to points. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I know.
Desperate you get sometimes. They got more points.
How can you argue that?
And you
20
got more
points
fucking
more.
trophies.
They
You
won
can
10 more
argue with
games
that.
in a season.
Yeah, and they also won a
So
Champions
would
League.
you
and FA
would
Cup.
you rather have 20 more points and not win another
Exactly.
Champions League?
That-
Or would
over
you
that
rather win
year-
a Champions League?
When you look back over the course of the
Give me
season, you see
20
how many
points.
teams won, how many points each team won throughout each
It
season.
doesn't matter. Just answer the
79
question.
points. 79.
Would you rather have
You-
would
you're
you
avoiding
rather
this
have
question.
20 points and not win a Champions League, or 79 points, win a Champions League and win another trophy? What would you rather have?
I'll take that silence. Thank you.
Ali, what would you have?
Thank you
What's
very
next
much.
one,
That's
King?
it.
Let's move on. We've all made good points.
None of
Good point,
midfielders
Carl.
get into that
Good
midfield as
point.
well. That's a fact.
So everyone's had an opinion now, bar one. So guess who it is? This one is, you're not a true fan if you do not go to the games.
You don't go to games.
You
Ooh.
did you all up agree then, Keith?
Play.
Did you all up agree then?
Here, these two are holding it up. They don't go to games a sen.
Oh,
You're in Australia
Me?
now. Yeah.
oh, fuck me. Do you want me to? That's
Oh,
Yeah.
there's loads of games when
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
younger.
I think so, Fuzz, because I can't go
Oh,
to my work
that is-
commitments.
That is daft. That is the
That is
daftest thing I've
stupid,
ever
that.
heard of it. To
What?
open that as an argument.
Yeah, you're trying to like get on him for not going to a Leeds game because he lives in Australia. That's stupid.
I've got work
24-hour
commitments here, lad.
turnaround.
When he lived in England, you went to games all the time.
If I went
Every
to Liverpool
weekend
games, I'd have
now
to
at
shut
Ellen
work
Road.
up. I've got work commitments, me. So
Oh,
you don't go
mate,
to
fuck
games.
you. Come on, work commitments. How old are you?
If
You're
you're that
28.
much of a Leeds fan, you won't go to Australia. You'd want to stay in England and watch all games.
Honestly, that's
Desperate
ruined
now,
debate. That's ruined debate.
Can't go nowhere, can you?
Is shocking. That how
We've all
bad
got
is that?
We've all got circumstances where we can't go to games, haven't we?
How old are you?
You know how old I am.
No, just tell us. Tell
Why?
the public.
No, I don't want to.
You're 28. How many Liverpool games have you been to?
Why does that matter? You've said you're not a fan. You're not a fan if you don't go to games, and you sat in Australia.
True
You don't go
fan.
to games.
That's killed argument, that boys. It's just
It's not because you can't
Bully,
sell
you
out.
said
Neither does
agree,
Bull.
so do you want to chip in there?
Yeah, go on. Everyone said a bit.
What do you want me to say?
Well, you put agree, and the question was, the statement was, you're not a true fan if you do not go to the games. You said agree. Why?
if
You
you're
don't
in
go to
country,
games.
you can always find time to go support your team, and that's what I did when I were in country.
That's bang out to say because you don't know what's going on in people's lives.
I'd say,
People
know,
might
I'd
have
say,
kids.
I'd
People
say
might not have money to
minimum,
go.
absolute minimum, about 4 or 5 games in a season. I'd say at least, and even that's like scraping.
Like I said, if I went to a game, I'd have to shut the business up. Like it's just
Yeah,
not
but you've
possible.
not had that
You haven't
business
worked
all
them
your
shifts
life.
all life, though, mate. You've had like we've had this conversation.
So why are you not going, man? So what? How come it's acceptable to go for like a few games a season when you're like, that's me covered. I can sell what I
Well, it
want.
goes
I
to
can afford them.
Wednesdays.
It lasts like what? I think like last 4 seasons I've had 2 season tickets. And
Why ain't you got- why ain't you got one
I've
this
played
year?
football on Saturdays, so I haven't been able to go to games because I've been playing for a team. But other teams I haven't been playing football.
Oh, so you've got commitments too.
But I've
I just think
I've
if
had
you
season
don't make
tickets and
effort to
gone and
go,
gone.
then
Yeah, but
Have
over
you got a
your
season ticket this
lifetime,
year?
over your life, over your whole life.
I
When you
can't.
think about
It
that.
don't fathom me. It don't come into me my vocabulary what I stand for. Not to try my best to get to a game. Like me thinking
All
that
I
I've
know
never
is
been.
there's no
been to
more
Ellen
I'd love
Road.
to go and watch Liverpool play like week in, week out. It'd be my
You
dream.
can't have loved it enough.
You were in Australia, so you can't say shit, pal.
It's
Other
a
side
lot.
of the
Oh my
world.
God.
You've got a nice excuse over there, haven't you? I can't book games because I'm in Australia.
But
mate.
when
That
you were
is
in England, you go
ridiculous.
like every week.
So why aren't you going every week? Football. I've got football. Me, I've got football.
Even if
Don't go.
even if I got 1 season ticket in my lifetime, which I've had more, it still absolutely shits on you. You've been to
A bad
Andy
argument,
like
this
one
one.
or 2 in your life. In your lifetime.
I'll tell you why it's not a bad argument. I travelled 9 hours from regional chuffing Australia to nearest biggest city to see England play in a final. 9
Well
hours.
done.
I did it in a 24-hour turnaround just
Well
to watch them
done.
on a big screen with other fans. So if I can do that, you can travel an hour and a half to go see.
Wait, you're saying you
Liverpool
watched it on a
Anfield.
screen? So
Yeah, I
you didn't watch the
did.
game,
That's
you
what I'm
watched it on a
saying. I'm
screen
saying
like
you
I
can
do.
find time.
I
You
watch
can
it on a
always
screen.
find
It's like a
time.
fan
Yeah,
experience.
yeah,
It's
I've
still like
always
going to the
find
game
time to
kind
watch it on a screen, even while I'm working.
Yes, but I'm saying I travel 9 hours, lad. You've got an hour and a half to travel.
To watch it on a screen like I do.
No.
That's what you say,
You're
like.
missing the point, Ali. You're missing
Nah,
the
you
point.
disagree.
Yeah, I must do.
Yeah. And this is going to sound like a shit excuse, but it's fucking impossible to get Liverpool tickets. It's a
Another reason.
No, it's
They
not.
don't sell out.
It does every week.
They don't sell
Bully,
out.
no,
Yeah, yeah, they do.
There's
Yeah.
people selling
No,
them.
no, no.
up.
They're like second-hand
Gumtree,
tickets, but costing
Facebook,
fortune.
Expensive as fuck.
200 quid a ticket you're
it's a-
putting in chat.
It's a 2-hour drive. It's not an hour and a half. I just can't afford
Sorry,
it.
lad.
I'm living on breadline, me. I'm living wage to
Well, don't
wage.
support a team
Damn,
that live an
Dad.
hour and a half, 2 hours away then.
Well, that's
Yeah.
You can do what we want. Like it's
No,
bang
that's
out to
fine.
say
but
you're not a
We're
fan.
just saying like true fan. We're not saying
No,
fan.
not
We're
saying you're not a
true
fan, mate. You can be a fan, but you're not a supporter because you don't support them.
There's,
Wait a
there's
minute. So,
valid
Dad,
reasons.
where did you get your Liverpool shirt from, Dad? What it official website?
Official site. I get it every
You're
year.
putting money into club, mate. Like, yeah,
Eight-
least
80
you
quid.
could do.
80 quid every year.
You
And I
just let me know how the atmosphere is at Anfield. You can't comment. You can't comment, can you?
So it's
No,
seen
you
louder.
can't.
I've
Like, if
been,
we were
I've
gonna have a-
witnessed it. I'm happy to say I've witnessed it. Not as many
How
times
many
as I'd want to.
times?
I'd want to go a lot more times than I've been,
You're
believe
still
me.
not answering question.
Why haven't you got a season ticket? You can go.
I've
Like, that's
already,
the
I've
wor-
already explained myself.
What makes
Like,
it
over the
worse for
past,
me
like,
is
like
that
past
you're
4 seasons.
saying
Past
you're
4 seasons, I've
agreeing.
2 season tickets.
what makes it even worse for me is you're agreeing, and out of everyone, you have got the time to go to every single game, week in, week out.
But I
Your
still
reason
still
is
go to
I
throughout.
play
I've been to
football.
2 this season. I've probably got to about another
enough.
like 3 or 4 this season. That's still a lot more than you've been in your lifetime. Me doing it in 1 season, that's more games that you've been to Liverpool in your whole life, just this season. So that point is just invalid as fuck.
I never understand
I've
that.
already been to more games this season, and we're in February, than you have your whole life.
I've never understood why it bothers people. Like if someone else don't go to a game, it's like
It's not
I've
bothering
been
us,
more
it doesn't
games than
bother
them,
me.
so
It doesn't
bother me.
bother them.
It's
You've
not
been to
like
Ellen Road more
Why?
times
What does
than
it
you've been to
matter if I go
Anfield.
or not? You're like you haven't put money into the club, so you can't say you support them. I think it's just
You've
ridiculous.
been to Ellen
really.
Road more times than you've been to Anfield.
Yeah, I have.
Key,
But
you've been to more
I
Wednesday
don't
games
like
than
Leeds
Ali
better
has
than
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
I know.
In fact,
I'm
Key,
Rotherham.
you're
Wednesday
asking
games
that.
was back in there, didn't you?
Yeah,
I'm
you were
Rotherham.
going to a Wednesday game soon, aren't you, Key?
I'm going to a Rotherham game soon, yeah.
Against Wednesdays.
Wednesday away, yeah.
What you got to say about for?
He used to work at Rotherham. He's got a little soft spot for him, haven't you?
Ball boy for him, mascot for a
You used to be
season.
a mascot, didn't you?
Top spot.
I don't like that, mate.
So,
You in?
well, you're not going to stop me from going, so...
No, I'm not. But there was a question earlier saying, like, can you accept if you like more than one club? But you obviously do, don't you? A rival. A rival.
Right.
I won't call Leeds and Rotherham as a rivalry.
A local rival, yeah.
Lad, I'm from Rotherham. It's my town. It's my hometown.
So if Leeds play Rotherham, what happens?
Leeds every time. 7 days a week.
But you'll
on a
support
Sunday.
Rotherham.
What?
You'll support Rotherham.
I've been to Wembley twice with Rotherham.
So you'll support Rotherham in Buddy's words, support
I went to watch Liverpool.
and
at Wembley.
Fowler's.
He's been to more Rotherham games than you have Liverpool, and he didn't even support them.
I've been to more Wednesday games than you have Liverpool. I've been to more Rotherham games than you have Liverpool. And I've been to
So
more
does that make you
Leeds
more a fan of them clubs than I am Liverpool then? Is that what your
games.
argument
I
is?
make fair share of season tickets at Ellen Road. Like, I'll put that.
Is that what the argument is then? If
No
the
one's
more games you've
doubting that
been...
you don't love Liverpool, because I get that. I've known you a long time. I know you've got a lot of passion for Liverpool. That's
So
not
what
the
are we
question.
saying then?
That's not the question. I'm
You're
just
just
saying,
saying,
in our opinions, it's not aimed at you personally. I just think it's everyone in general, and people can hammer us in comments, but we're just talking about like true fan. They've got to at least go to like a few games in the season. I think at least. I don't think it's that much to ask.
I think it's easy
No, I
saying
don't.
that when you don't know commit. Well, you all do know commitments people have and shit. Like Dav can't go for reasons, and I'm same. So we'd love to, but it's easy to point finger and say you could and you should do this. But
I know,
you-
but if it were me,
Nah,
like
it's
as
easy to
soon
say
as
that.
that commitment didn't come up, I'd be like, right, fucking hell, this weekend I've got this, or this, I can get to this game, but it doesn't. It obviously doesn't work.
I wish it could happen, mate.
Yeah, I know,
I've
but
got to
like
disagree with that one.
you've not been in this circumstance all your life.
Majority I have, mate. Growing up,
You used to work at the same place as me, man, when I used to have a season ticket. So
and I couldn't get a ticket,
when I had
mate.
my
You can't
days,
get a
the same as
ticket.
you.
You can.
ask people who have been
on
members.
Facebook, there's people on
These haven't got a
Twitter.
clue. These have the.
Anybody
Yes, we
watching this
have.
podcast, anyone watching this podcast, if you make it this far into the video, have a little look about on the internet tonight for some tickets. If you find them, bang it in comments. Because
Oh, you can.
do
They're
it selling.
gonna be
Like
like
and
triple
subscribe
amount.
while you're there.
About 200 quid a ticket. It's not like a Leeds
Not
ticket where you can just
£200
go on
to watch
eBay or
football.
go on Twitter. Yeah,
Can
it
you
is.
fuck get a Leeds ticket, dickhead?
No,
No.
well, exactly. I'm backing it. So Leeds tickets are going to be a lot more cheaper second hand, or get one off someone who you might know and stuff. But Liverpool tickets, if you want to get one of them, mate, you're paying over 100 quid.
Anyone
These
watching
type
it,
things,
fire in comments. Lowest price wins.
Yeah,
on the Liverpool
yeah.
ticket. Lowest price wins.
We'll all
Anyone
chip
who
to mine.
fancies doing that. Fowler, you said you had another unpopular opinion, like.
Yeah, go on.
We're getting
Yeah.
close now, so if you want to throw that out.
So you remember when Gerrard were linked with Manchester United when they were winning everything, and when they were
They
linked
weren't,
with
were they?
Chelsea? They were linked with Chelsea. Yeah, yeah. Man U tried to sign him. Fergie wanted him.
He never.
And
He didn't want to entertain it, though, did he?
This right? Can I finish? Right, and Chelsea, he were linked with Chelsea as well when they were winning. Them teams are better off without signing Steven Gerrard. They did better, and it's a good job that Gerrard did not sign for them clubs.
What? Can you say that? He's a world class player.
I'll
and he's
tell-
such a squad.
I can tell you why.
Yeah, it's Gerrard.
You wanker.
I don't hate Gerrard.
Chelsea, Yeah, but Chelsea went on to be the most successful club over our lifetime. Like from the year 2000 or whatever, they're the most successful club.
It could have been even better.
So you can't say putting Gerrard in that side would have made them better because they've
How
won
can
everything.
you know?
Man U tried signing Gerrard in like 03 or 04, were it? Like they won enough titles after then. Like
Exactly. So
How can you say?
well, that's just facts. We're not lying
what
about
would have
that.
Gerrard
Is
done?
that a fact?
I'm saying
What would have Gerrard done?
after we rejected him?
Gerrard was
Gerrard
a
won
world-class
fuck
player
all.
and they wanted him. How can? It's like saying
But
like a. If
They'd
you put
already
Messi at
won them
Liverpool side,
trophies.
they
So
wouldn't
why
have
would
made
have
him
they
better.
been better?
If you're comparing Gerrard to Messi, move on.
Any good player that's better, any good player out there, it's like saying if you put him at Liverpool side, they wouldn't have been better off. They would have been worse off. Is that what you're saying?
No, well at that time
They did well enough without him, and
Yeah.
if he'd have joined the team,
They won't be any
would have
better
still
off
done
with
that.
him than without him.
But they'd have still won trophies, obviously, because they won them. But they'd have been a better team. They'd have had a better player in the team for sure.
Why did they want to sign him?
That's what it's saying though. They're not better off because they're still winning.
Yeah, they wanted to sign him at time, but still he didn't sign and they've still won. So really, they're no better off.
But they could have been. They could have won even more. You never know.
Yeah, but they still won enough, didn't they?
In everyone's
They could have
mind,
won less.
one of the
They
best
could have won
players.
less.
One
They
of the
would
best
have got
players.
more points, so Ali would have been more buzzing.
Manchester United didn't need Gerrard is a better statement, isn't it? Chelsea didn't need Gerrard.
Of course,
Yeah.
they didn't need him. But they'd have been
Didn't need
better
Gerrard.
with him.
Would they?
The statement were, I think
it goes without saying
they wouldn't
that
have been any
if
better
they
off
got
with him.
offered on a play, Steven Gerrard, they're not going to turn him down. That goes without saying.
But they've been better off with him, though.
Nah, I don't.
But they've not been worse off without him. That's what we're saying.
Oh yeah, for sure, because they've won it. Like no one
That's
can
what we're
argue
saying.
that.
That's what we're
Exactly.
saying.
But they could have won more.
So that's
Yeah.
why
I
we
don't think they
held
could.
up and agree.
I don't think they could.
Yeah,
Yeah, but why would they have won more? Gerrard didn't win fuck all. He won a
It's
couple
like
of Champions
saying,
League.
let's say, like who's one of the best
fuck
English
off.
midfielders in Prem, Declan Rice. If you put Declan Rice in the Liverpool team, they'd be better off for sure.
The only,
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
the only benefit out of
why
this
do you always
debate
say Liverpool? Liverpool aren't
is
winning
Gerrard, 'cause he would have
titles.
Because
had
it's just
trophies.
my team. Or if
Yep.
you put Declan Rice in City team, they'd be better off.
Yeah,
They wouldn't
Nah.
need him, but they'd be better off.
They'd
I
still
don't
win
think
league.
so. He don't get in City side.
They'd be better off if someone got injured. They could slide him in. He's just
Nah.
good to have in the squad, and Gerrard would be.
Only
So
person,
Gerrard
only
is
person that would
what-
benefit is Gerrard because
No,
he would
no.
win more trophies. That's a fact.
Yeah.
don't
Chelsea
agree with
and
that.
Man U wouldn't have benefited that much, like with or without him. I don't think really, but he would have benefited because he would have had silverware.
Gerrard needed Man U more than Man U needed Gerrard.
That's what I'm trying to say. Is worded it. Thank you.
Exactly.
I think especially Man U needed, and that's when they got rid of Keane on it.
Then he pointed that out and destroyed you.
The struggle to replace him. Who did they have in after?
No, he didn't say sign Gerrard to replace him. He said they signed him to get rid of him. Like Keane were already out to do it. There were already disputes that he were leaving, and there were talks that he were leaving.
It just says, like, I'm glad you brought it up because it says a lot when Man U wanted him when they had Keane and Scholes, and Man U wanted him when
What's
they
Keane
had
were going?
Scholes and Chelsea
Scholes
wanted
and
him when they had
Gerrard would
Lampard
have
and
been
Makelele.
sick. But
They didn't replace him until
because they're still winning enough titles.
Carrick, what main man after that, wasn't he? He was.
Yeah, you're right.
Did you see that? Did you see how they did in 2008 when Carrick and Scholes were at middle?
Nowhere near as good as Gerrard, though, were he? That would have been Gerrard instead.
Yeah, they still would have won Premier Champions League, and so would Gerrard.
There'd have been a better side with Gerrard in 100%.
But they still won.
Than Carrick.
Better off, for sure.
Gerrard might
Gerrard
have
slipped on purpose.
Fergie with handwriting.
I was just about to slide it in, Foz. Foz's first answer to me, Foz's first opinion to me would just Gerrard slipped on purpose.
Remember when John Terry slipped? Remember when John Terry slipped on purpose?
Ooh. Ooh.
And?
Chelsea fan.
Weird. Chelsea. Oh, shit.
Lead supporter, but a Chelsea fan in Bully's logic.
I've never put any money into Chelsea. Never.
Yeah, you
done
have. You've
anything.
bought Lampard. You've
bought
got Lampard
shirts, Fowler.
pictures. You've had
You've bought
Chelsea
shirts.
shirts.
I've not bought shirts. I've not bought Lampard pictures.
You've had Lampard signed pictures. In
I've
your
had a
bedroom.
Lampard
Drogba
poster when I was a kid. Fuck Fuck me.
You used to wank over
£2
it.
poster,
You
Frank
were a Chelsea
Lampard.
fan. You were a Chelsea fan.
Fucking sorry, boys. Here's £2. Chelsea have won Champions League because of me.
So you've supported the club. You've put money into the club, Hannibal.
Mate,
That
I had,
makes
a,
you
I, had a
supporter.
Wayne Rooney. I had a Wayne Rooney poster as well. Does that make me a Man
Man
U
U
fan?
supporter, yeah. In Bully's logic.
What? Why you keep getting me involved in it?
Honestly, some
I'm
of your
talking
arguments
about
to
going
me-
to games early. So what
That
are you
is
talking
your
about?
logic.
Posters?
You say you can't be a supporter if you don't go to games, but you're
Right
a
then,
fan.
so what are you talking about?
if you like
Posters
him.
for then?
I
Because
actually
he's put
some
money
of his
into the
logic
club.
tonight has
Talking
been
about blue tack
awful.
and posters.
I'm just coming back with some good points, mate.
Good point.
I'm remembering
You're saying
shit that's
that-
been said.
Like I've got to fly back from Australia, and
Yeah.
I'm a Chelsea fan because I
Don't
had
throw
a £2
stones if you live in a
poster.
glass house, cocker.
Lads, I think we should leave it right there.
There's been
Yeah.
some beauties in
It's
that.
been
though.
All I'd
excellent.
like to say is Gerrard's my second top midfielder, so I've noted. I just like winding you.
Yeah.
Skulls 8.
You look fuming, you Dav. Fucking hell.
I think
Boys.
it's been a bit of an attack on me and Ali this one.
We've handled it well, though,
Because
Dad.
you're getting at most. You're at most biased Liverpool fan.
I don't.
I think some of the questions are being asked tonight were clown talk.
Well, good point, because if anybody else thinks it's clown talk, they should find it in comments, because
Yeah, give
there's
some
been a fair
shit.
bit
We
of clown
welcome
talk
it.
from all sides, I think. Let us know what you think, who's biggest
Yeah.
idiot, because we all are some degree of an idiot, so let us know, innit?
Yeah, nice one, boys.
Hey, boys,
Been a good
nice
one.
one.
See you next week.
See you in a bit.